A little better. Just listen closely for change. Okay. We ready to start?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I would ask everyone to stand for a pledge of allegiance, the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. And please remember all those affected by the coronavirus and the families of those who have unfortunately passed away. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
United States of America,
to the republic
for which
stands one nation,
one God, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America.
Okay, roll call.
Benelli? Benelli?
Everybody, please unmute while attendance is being called. Katie, are you there?
I don't see her here.
No.
Oh, she's here now. She's here now.
Quite a few haven't logged on. I guess quite a few haven't logged on. Benelli?
I'm here.
Katie's there now. What?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So Benelli, go ahead. Jean.
Sorry I was
Okay.
late.
No problem.
Did
Here.
Amo?
Here.
And Agasakis?
Present.
Ben?
He's calling in, Gene. I don't think he called in just yet.
Cheney?
Here.
Baggio?
Here.
Hines?
Here.
Kulisek?
here,
Lujan?
Present.
Menuda?
I'm here.
O'Donnell?
Here,
Riskevich?
Here.
Sassy?
Here.
Sierra? DeGanga?
Here.
Sutherland?
Here.
Cartel?
Here.
Shui? I think Peter's here. Bureau? Bureau? Brescia. All right, we're waiting
Here.
for 3 legislators then.
It looks like Benton's here now.
Okay, Benton and Sierra. And Vera we're missing.
Kelly, this is Lee Benton. I'm on the phone, not on Teams.
Okay. Okay, we're just waiting on Sierra and Vero. So 19 present.
Bureau was at the public hearing, was he not? I saw him.
Yes,
Was Joel there?
yes.
Joel was there too? Okay, we'll wait, I guess, another minute or two.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, again.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Okay, well, it's 4:27. Let's get started. I mean, Joel can come in maybe a few minutes late, hopefully. Okay, we have some voice votes and we have some roll call. So, okay, if there are no objections, consent resolutions 19, 20, and 21 will be included in the agenda. Okay, if there are no objections, some resolutions will be voted. I just said that. Okay, reading the script here. Participation will be postponed to a future legislative session. Okay, Majority Leader Benelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I respectfully ask for the approval of the minutes of July 2nd, 2020.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. All right, A, receive and file. Number 1, Gene, resolution, and this is a voice vote, by the way.
Legislators Fagione, Benelli, and Kulisek. Resolution of the County Legislature proclaiming September 17th through September 23rd, 2020 as Constitution Week.
Second, Vero.
Discussion.
Mike, you there?
I'm sorry, Jim, was that Jim Kulisek? Jim, did you have a question?
Tom Fagione has a question, Steve.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Senator Fagione.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, fellow legislators, and I hope you'll all support this resolution. You guys know I carry my pocket constitution everywhere I go, and I have copies for each one of you. So let's all get out there and support the words in this document. In the preamble, it says something very important. It is that this country, you know, we talk about this country and some of the situations we're dealing with today, and this was established to build a more perfect union. There's nothing perfect about America, but every day we can make this country a more perfect country. So I ask you all to support this resolution. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Minority
Okay.
Leader has a question as well.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, during your introduction in regards to consent resolutions, I have something I'd like to ask that we would like to withdraw consent resolution number 21. I have had conversations with the chairman of rules, Legislator Fagione, to have this important resolution regarding systemic racism, etc., put on the rules agenda this month. I think this issue is so important to all of us that it should follow proper protocol and go through committee so that all of us can have input. Not like last month, police resolution where we didn't get a chance to go through committee and have any comment. So I'd ask that you withdraw and confirm with Chairman Fagione that he accepted putting this on the rules agenda for September.
Chairman Fagione, that's agreeable with you?
Chairman, I'll be willing to work with leadership in the legislature to have a resolution brought forth to rules in September. Yes, Chairman, and thank you, Minority Leader Padu.
Okay, and there's no problem with the sponsors. Thank you, both gentlemen. There's no problem with the sponsors withdrawing this?
This is Legislator Tortel. No, I look forward to working with Legislator Fagione and the rest of the committee and getting input on this through the Rules Committee.
Thank you, Legislator Tortel. If there are no objections.
Legislator O'Donnell has a question, Steve.
Yes, Legislator.
I think you might have comment. This is Antoinette Reed. If you're not speaking, if you could please, legislators mute. We're getting a lot of feedback in the office, tons. So, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd just like to
Legislator
correct
O'Donnell.
one thing. Thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to correct one thing from Minority Leader Paduk. Everybody had ample opportunity to speak on the police resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no objections, 21 will be withdrawn, and we are, did we take the voice vote on number 1? I'm losing track here real quick. We didn't take the voice vote yet, did we? Okay, any further discussion on number 1? Okay, does everybody want to be on number 1? Just
All
asking.
Republicans will sponsor. Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and I've submitted to Jean, and she's going to add it after the resolution for all Dems as well.
okay, independents, Legislator
Yeah,
Amo.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Amo, I asked Mr. Agonisakis if he's interested.
Good, okay, 21 on it, okay, roll call, Gene.
That's a voice vote on that. We're on one,
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry, all in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 2 is also a voice vote. Gene?
Legislators Paduk and Fagione, resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Planning to apply for, accept, and appropriate funds from the New York State Department of Transportation.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Okay, opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, carried. Number 3, also a voice vote. Go ahead, Gene.
Legislators Kulisek and Cheney, Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Planning to accept and appropriate a grant from the New York State Urban Development Corporation doing business as Empire State Development.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead. Minority
Just,
Leader
this
Padu.
funding is for the census, for the 2020 complete count. We all know how important this is. I try to encourage everyone I see, municipal leaders, et cetera, to encourage everybody. I can tell you that Middletown is 21 point something %. I talked to the mayor. I've reached out to encourage everybody to get involved so that all of us in Orange County get the support we need. So if everybody does it, maybe we can get them percentage points up higher. You can check it at the census website. You can see your municipality and know who to encourage, and hopefully we all can do that.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 4, also a voice vote. Go ahead, Jean.
Legislators Kulisek, Paduk, Benton, and Anagnestakis. Resolution allowing the Orange County Board of Elections to accept revenue and apply the funds to debt service.
Second, Vero.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Carried. Number 5, roll call. Jean, go ahead. This will be a roll call.
Legislators
vote anyway,
Legislators Benelli, Paduk, Benton, Menuda, and Hines. Resolution making a supplemental appropriation to the 2020 Orange County budget, allowing the Orange County Department of Public Works to transfer funds from the Beaver Dam Lake operating budget fund balance to capital project number CP 852.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion?
Legislator Hines has his hand up.
Yes, Legislator Hines.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want everybody to please support this. It's a big project. My district covers a portion of it. There was a lot of unfound expenses through this process, and we have confirmed in committee from Commissioner Deniga that the local governing body is in support of this. Mrs. Dahl has indicated that the entire board is in favor, so we need to do this to move this project along. It's a safety matter at this point. So thank you for everybody for your support.
Thank you, Legislator Hines. Okay, if there's no further discussion, roll call.
Benelli,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yes.
Paduk,
Yes.
Amo,
Yes.
Anagnestakis, Benton, Cheney, Fagione, Hines, Kulisek, Lujan, Menuda,
Yes.
O'Donnell, Riskevich,
Yes.
Sassy, Sierra, Stiganga,
Yes.
Sutherland, Tortel, Tui, Vero, Brescia. 21 ayes. I do believe Legislator Sierra is on. Am I correct?
He is.
He's present? Okay, 21 ayes.
Good.
I'm here. I'm here.
Good
Thank you,
deal.
Joel.
Okay, number 6, a bond resolution requiring a supermajority. Go ahead, Jean.
Legislators Tui, Kulisek, Benton, and Paduk. Bond resolution dated September 3rd, 2020. Bond resolution of the County of Orange, New York, authorizing the construction of a trailer parking pad at Transfer Station Number 1, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $180,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $180,000 bonds of the county to finance said appropriation.
Second, Vero.
This discussion? Roll call.
Benelli,
Yes.
Paduk,
Yes.
Amo,
Yes.
Anagnestakis, Benton, Cheney, Fagione, Hines, Kulisek, Lujan, Menuda, O'Donnell, Riskevich, Sassy, Sierra, Stiganga, Sutherland, Tortel, Tui, Vero, Brescia. 21 ayes.
Okay. Number 7, another bond resolution, 2/3 vote.
Legislators Kulisek, Benelli, and Benton. Bond resolution dated September 3rd, 2020. Bond resolution of the County of Orange, New York, authorizing the construction of improvements to the runway taxiway at the Orange County Airport, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $50,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 50,000 bonds of the county to finance said appropriation.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? Okay, roll call.
Benelli,
Yes.
Paduk,
Yes.
Amo,
Yes.
Anagnestakis, Benton, Cheney, Fagione, Hines, Kulisek, Lujan, Menuda, O'Donnell, Riskevich, Sassy, Sierra, Stiganga, Sutherland, Tortel, Tui, Vero, Brescia. 21 ayes.
Okay, number 8.
Legislators Tui, Kulisek, Benton, and Sutherland. Bond resolution dated September 3rd, 2020. Bond resolution of the County of Orange, New York, authorizing the construction of improvements to the taxiways at the Orange County Airport, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $50,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 50,000 bonds of the county to finance said appropriation.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? Okay, this is 2/3 vote as well, so roll call.
Benelli,
Yes.
Paduk,
Yes.
Amo,
Yes.
Anagnestakis, Benton, Cheney, Fagione, Hines, Kulisek, Lujan, Menuda, O'Donnell, Riskevich, Sassy, Sierra, Stiganga, Sutherland, Tortel, Tui, Vero, Brescia. 21 ayes.
Okay, number 9, which will be a voice vote.
Legislators Riskevich and Kulisek. Resolution confirming the appointment by the county executive of an at-large member to the Board of Directors of the Orange County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? Okay, voice vote, excuse me, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Carried. Okay, actually, all opposed, anybody opposed to that? I'm sorry. Okay, good, carried. Number 10.
Legislators Benton and Benelli. Resolution approving the release of the county's interest in and to a certain deed sale parcel to the previous owner of record.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Number 11, another voice vote.
Legislator Benton. Resolution approving the applications for the correction of certain errors appearing on the 2020 tax rolls for certain towns and districts and ordering the correction of said errors.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Carried. Okay, number 12, another voice vote.
Legislators Tui and Tortel. Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Valley View Center for Nursing Care and Rehabilitation to accept and appropriate a donation.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion?
Legislator Fagione has a question, or has his hand raised?
Sure.
Thank you, Chairman. Please add my name as co-sponsor. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay, we're on number 13, I guess, right? Okay, number 13,
13.
voice vote, go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Legislators Lujan and Tortel. Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Health to accept and appropriate grant funds from the American Public Health Association.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 14, other voice vote.
Legislators Lujan and Tortel, resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Health to accept and appropriate additional grant funds from the New York State Department of Health.
Second, Vero.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. 15, other voice vote.
Legislators Hines, DeGanga, Vero, Fagione, Sierra, Sassy, and Lujan. Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Emergency Services Emergency Management to accept and appropriate a grant from the United States Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Second, Vero. Oh, shoot, sorry, Paul.
Okay. Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Chairman?
Yes.
Aye.
Minority
Yeah,
Leader.
I just wanted to make the point, I've sent in a request to Gene to add all Dems added to that one and the next one, just so I don't interrupt again.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem. So done. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, 15, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 16, another voice vote. Go ahead, Gene.
Legislators DeGanga and Vero. Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Emergency Services, Police Services to accept and appropriate grant funds from the State of New York Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Second, Riskevich.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 17 will be a roll call vote. Go ahead, Gene.
Legislators Tortel and DeGanga. Resolution authorizing the county executive in conjunction with the Orange County Department of Community Development to accept and appropriate grant funds from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion? Okay, all, roll call, Gene?
Benelli,
Yes.
Paduk,
Yes.
Amo,
Yes.
Nagnestakis, Benton, Cheney, Fagione, Hines, Kulisek, Lujan, Menuda, O'Donnell, Riskevich, Sassy, Sierra, DeGanga, Sutherland, Tortel, Tui, Vero, Russia. 21 ayes.
Okay, number 18, voice vote.
Legislators DeGanga, Lujan, Kulisek, and Vero. An act amending the appropriate Orange County employment schedules to create Indigent Legal Services Community Program Coordinator at the Orange County Department of Law.
Second, Riskevich.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Carried. Number 19, another voice vote.
Legislator Fagione, resolution recognizing September 15, 2020 through October 15, 2020 as National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, again, I contacted Gene in regards to the next two to have all Dems added. Thank you.
Okay. I would hope that for number 19, everybody would want to be added. So is that the case?
That is correct, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, for the Republicans.
Okay, if there's anybody doesn't want to be added, speak. Okay, everyone's added to number 19. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Number 20.
Legislator Tortel, resolution of the Orange County Legislature calling on the State of New York and the New York Public Service Commission to investigate the electric service providers in Orange County, New York.
Second, Vero.
Okay, discussion?
Legislator Fagione has his hand raised. And Stiganga.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Chairman, thank you. And as much as I've read this resolution, I'd also just remind everyone that the power companies, they definitely have their work cut out for them in the last few weeks, as we're all very much aware. I can say firsthand, I wasn't too far away from a tornado not too long ago. And I'll say, as much as some of these power companies get maligned in the press and the media, they also are definitely tirelessly working out there. And the crews and the workers who are out there, when those tree branches are down or when power lines are down and poles are down, those guys deserve all the credit in the world. And I hope that this resolution just looks to finding better ways to make what they do and the services they provide more efficient. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Okay, who else?
We have legislator, yes, there's legislator Stiganga, and then we also have legislator Amo and Tortel who'd like to say something.
Okay, let's go.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chairman.
Next, I believe, right?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I would like to basically reiterate what Legislator Fagione just said. I know that at 5 o'clock in the morning, they were out running around. They really put a lot of effort, so I hope that this investigation is more to actually identify and to help so that we can improve the services and maybe move things forward or even upgrade so that we don't run into this continually with every type of storm that we have. Thank you.
Okay, who is next? Legislator Amo, Caucus
Yes.
Leader Amo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm agreeing with the last two speakers about the positivity we should be focused on, and not quite sure what the issue behind the negativity is. Since it is a consent, Mr. Chairman, could you explain to me or someone explain the timeliness of this particular consent resolution and why it couldn't go through rules?
I would ask Legislator Tortel, since she's the one that brought it to the table today. So Legislator Tortel, you want to speak to that? Are you there, Lori?
Yes. Yes, I had to unmute. Thank you. The reason why is the expediency of this is I believe that there has been discussion in the Senate and the Assembly of holding hearings, joint hearings on the electric service provider's response. My aim for this is not at workers who were out there on the ground. They did phenomenal work. The problem that I ran into was the response from the electric service providers to constituents who had loved ones who were, one of them was comatose and dying of Parkinson's disease, and they told her that she needed to find an alternate place to take her mother, to take her to a hotel, because they didn't know when they would be able to restore her power, and they couldn't help with resourcing a generator or anything for her. Thankfully, we found somebody who had a generator and loaned it to them. There were other people that were trapped for several days where they couldn't remove the trees or get the power lines out of the trees so that the local road crews could remove them so that people were not trapped on single access roads. And the final straw was the multiple times and the hours that I was on the phone with the constituent service representatives from the power company. And the system that they were forced to operate on was so cumbersome that a call that should have taken no more than 30, maybe 40 minutes tops, took an hour and a half, and multiple times it required a call back because the system froze. So this isn't about the line crews or the ground crews. This is about the systems that they're forced to work with and about the failure of the power company as a whole, the echelons, to be storm resilient as they purported being the onslaught of Superstorm Sandy. That is the intent of this, and the expediency is that session will be ending soon, and I want to make sure this is there before session ends and not go to another committee.
Lujan.
Oh, right here, Mr. Chairman.
Wait, no, let's finish up with Caucus Leader Amo first. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I don't think my question was answered sufficiently for me, at least. It seems to me that the tone of investigation has a more negative turn to it than the issues that it even Legislator Tutel raised. I don't think timeliness should be so we help the state Senate and the Assembly do their job. I think we should, before we put our name on it, we should be sure we know that this is the right thing to do. So I'm not going to vote for it, but I'm thinking that I would also like to I will put out an offer to table it to go to Rules Committee next month and move it quickly back to the floor. If anybody that wants to second that, I would do that.
I would
Otherwise,
second
I'm just
that.
going to vote.
Mr. Ganga, you're the second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay.
I speak
Discussion
before-
on the motion to, oh, okay,
Yes.
well, it's a table, it's not, we can discuss it, because it's only a table to send, basically sending it back,
Right,
or
I'm
send it to
talking
committee.
about the
Never went through committee. Okay, so you might
Right.
want to make it, well, it's a table for 1 month, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
Discuss it.
That's all.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Laura, you want to respond to that before we go to Kevin?
Yes,
Darian?
please.
Go ahead.
My response to that is, again, the absolute and abject horror I had in dealing. I don't know if you had any problems, Mr. Legislator Amo, with dealing with constituent service during the storm and during the outage. I was in a zone where I have no cell service. I was driving a mile and a half down the hill from my house in all kinds of weather to sit and stand outside the communications with the power company, try and then feed communications to people who were leaving me messages and who were sending me messages via social media and via my county cell phone and my cell phone. So I don't believe this should wait. I think, by all expediency, that this should be put forth and supported, because we need to figure out and we need to put our voice behind it. And I'll be willing to testify my experience as an official with the power companies directly. I had extensive dealings with them over the course of the storm. And I just feel that this is not something that should wait. You know, last month we had a consent resolution that definitely could have waited so everybody could put their input into it. And there was a notice of expediency and timing. Well, if the timing could not be more crucial on a matter such as this as to put it back another month. Like I said, this isn't about the workers. This is about calling on them to make sure that they follow through with what they said, that they were going to investigate the response of the power companies and their failure, abject failure, to be storm resilient as they've reported since 2012 when they were devastated by Hurricane Sandy. So I'm against the motion to table this because I feel that it is necessary to get this out there as soon as possible and to have these hearings set and have answers, get the answers from these power companies as to where failure was. I didn't include all service providers. I didn't include gas. I didn't include the issue with Frontier because I know the county executive is already investigating that himself. I am talking about the volume of frustration that not just myself, but other people that I spoke to had dealing with constituent service and the power companies, and then their global response times not even be able to give some specific information to people as to when they were going to get their power back. I mean, the one person I'm talking about is one example. I had another person who was trapped. She had to get out to go to chemotherapy. Her car was trapped to her house. We had to get a wheelchair and leave her around down trees, down wires so she could get out for a chemotherapy session. Then we had another person who was on a ventilator. Thank God we were able to get them a generator, being resourceful that we were. So these are things that our company used to attune to and used to escalate the response time for cases in those manners. And they don't seem to be doing that anymore. All they're telling these people is they need to find an alternate source of living. Yet their car is trapped, they're trapped. I mean, there's people who had kids who had autism and they're on the spectrum, and the noises from the generator were affecting their children adversely. It was a whole snowball of things, and I don't think that this is one of the things that we should sit on our hands on and put into committee for another. Nothing inflammatory. It's pretty straightforward. I just want to know the reasons why there was such an abject failure, and I'd like to call on those people who are responsible for investigating them to investigate them. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick response. I certainly understand. No, I mean, I have the floor, I believe. She was answering me, she was responding to me, I thought. My comment is that it's quick. I appreciate everything Lori's saying. I understand the emotional concern in individual cases. I just don't quite clearly see the path between what this resolution is going to do to help solve her problems that she articulated in defense of our table. I just don't see it. So, I don't know. I'm a yes for the table.
Point of information in Egnostankis.
Yes.
Point of information. Some of this is breaking up. Is this a motion to table or a motion to bring back to a specific committee?
It's basically a motion to send it to the Rules Committee, whether it's a table or send to committee, period, because it hasn't gone through committee. So it's either one, but it's in all intents and purposes, it's doing the same thing. It's sending it back to Rules for 1 month to be voted on at the regular meeting in October.
Antoinette, is that what's going on?
We have 4 people that want to speak.
Yes.
Minority Leader
Your question,
Minority
that's a
Leader
point of
Paduk.
order. Okay. I believe Kevin Darian Lujan was next.
Actually, Minority Leader Paduk was next, and then
As a
Legislator
point of
Fangio.
order, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Yes,
In
another point
regards
of order,
to
go ahead.
Okay, in regards to Mr. Amos' comment regarding going through committee, just to note that 3 days before this, when I had the discussion with Lori to bring it, I talked to Chairman Fagione in regards to it. He mentioned at that time that during the Rules Committee, there was a lot of changes on the agendas and that he couldn't put it on. So it was asked to be put on. And I will just make a note, at Physical Services, we added to Physical Services Committee 15 minutes before the meeting. So for Michael's intent, it was asked to be put on rules last month, and it didn't make it. So the request was there, and it was denied by the chairman. So, I just want you to know that, and that's why it's been put on by consent. Thank you.
Next is Fangio.
Okay.
Thank you, Chairman Brescia. To the motion to send to Rules Committee to respond to Minority Leader Paduk, he did reach out to me, and I made it pretty clear to him that the specific role of the committee chair is to set the agenda for the committee. And as you all know, the development of these agendas for 9 of our statutory committees, it's rather deliberate, and it is detailed. It involves our entire staff, our legal counsel. It also involves experts, maybe outside of our departments, and even on the executive branch of our government. So it's not something that I take lightly, and I'm committed to the work and the effort of our staff in developing our agendas. I try to hold to the agenda deadline for just that reason. And I will note this, on this resolution before us here, 2 errors. There's the spelling error and there's an identification error. And for those 2 reasons, the identification error is that it points out that John Flanagan is the minority leader of the New York State Senate. Well, he is in fact not the minority leader of the New York State Senate. And these are going to be the issues that may come up if we rush to judgment and push things through. So to Legislator Paduk, yes, you're absolutely right. You asked me to bring this forward, and I said our agenda was already set, and if you wanted to bring it through consent, that is your prerogative. But it is for those reasons, and as chairman of the committee, that I made that decision. Thank you, Chairman.
Next is Legislator Lujan, followed by Majority Leader Benelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just very brief, I wanted to echo some of the comments that were made earlier. I did see really a lot of people, men and women, hard workers, just coming out early morning, very late into the evening, working around the clock to try to make sure that we can get energy back for these families. One of the thing that really was touched me the most was hearing about families that had recently bought groceries, and all of their groceries have essentially gone bad over the coming days because they didn't have any electricity. I agree with Legislator Tortel. This is a very pressing and very important matter. This is definitely something that's at the forefront of leaders in the state. I think it's definitely something that we all care about. And once again, this was also discussed in public safety. We actually discussed it with Commissioner Casey. He himself indicated the outdated equipment that was being used. If we're talking about the workers, let's talk about the safety of those workers. The outdated equipment that was being used by some of these energy equipment. I mean, that's really important. So again, I just want to echo. We just want to get to the bottom of it. We want to see what's going on. Families should not be going without electricity for days on end. I know it took almost a week for us to get 100%, over a week to get 100% electricity here in the city of Newburgh. I know in other places it was much, much worse. And again, we're supposed to be considered lucky for that. And considering right now, and that's my final comment, considering right now everything that's going on with COVID, people are already struggling. I mean, they're really, truly struggling. And I know that everyone here knows that. But I mean, adding to the storm, adding to children not having electricity, parents that are at home with their children and not having really, activities that they can really do, TV or games or so on. It really makes, things much, much more challenging. And so again, this is one piece of this greater puzzle of what's going on. I think that I want to just echo the importance of Legislator Tortel's resolution and definitely support voting on it today.
Okay, next we have Benelli, followed by Hines and Tortel again.
And then
Okay,
Echo has a question too.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. First and foremost, the discussion that's going on today, ironically, should have probably been going on at the Rules meeting. And I understand the chairman and the minority leader working together and looking at this particular resolution, thinking that this is something that's really not, and the resolution stood for itself and it wasn't going to be a lot of controversy. However, we are having a discussion now that really should be done at Rules. So I understand where Mr. Amo is putting the table on the floor here for us to vote on. And I think the reason being is I applaud Legislator Steganga's comments in regard to the workers, because the way this particular resolution is crafted, it gives no recognition of the workers that are out there. It's creating a potential as far as the companies themselves are going. And even as far as Legislator Lujan just said, it's a matter of their workers and them using outdated equipment. If we're going to create basically a resolution that has any kind of substance to it, those things should be included in the resolution. And we shouldn't be crafting a resolution like that on the floor of the full legislative body. It should be done throughout the committee process. And I'm not faulting anybody. I think everybody thought it was probably one of those things that was a no-brainer. So let's just entertain it and move it forward. But the conversations that I'm listening to now, it's not that simple. And I think we owe it to not only ourselves, but our constituents and even the state leaders that we're asking to task and take a look at all of this to be able to send them the right message. So therefore, I will be voting for the table. And I thank you very much for the time to be able to speak.
Okay, who is next?
We have Hines, then Tortel wanted to speak again, and then Anagnestakis.
You see my
Okay,
hand, Kelly?
I'm gonna take, okay, go ahead,
Oh,
Kevin.
thought you left your hand up, Mike, sorry. And Padu.
Am I up? I don't know.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are, yes.
All right, thank you. I just want to clear up, at public safety, we spoke about Frontier Communications, which is a telephone company. This resolution says specifically electric company. And the executive branch did file a complaint with the Public Service Commission with respect to Frontier Communications. So that has nothing to do with the resolution we're talking about now. My question is to Legislator Tortel, and I know she's going to speak after me, so I'll certainly wait patiently before I decide how I vote on this. I don't know if it's a Central Hudson issue or an Orange and Rockland issue. And I think we should clarify that, because we're saying electric provider, so we may be accusing someone who didn't do anything wrong. So I think we need to clarify in this resolution, who are we talking about? Is it both of them? I don't know. So that needs to be clarified for me before I can vote on this. Thank you.
Okay. And who was next?
Tortel?
Yeah, let's go to Mike Anagnestakis. I don't
Okay.
know, I don't think we need to have, so, Laura, you spoke on this twice already, so I think we're just voting to send it to committee, so.
No, I just wanted to
That's, I
address a
think,
couple of
twice-
questions that were asked.
Well, okay. Go ahead, Mike Anagnestakis first.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I know it's difficult being on the phone only. So listen, I'm a little disheartened over the last 2 or 3 meetings, just the way things have been proceeding. Attacks legislators on legislators, and I just point out, by point of order, that legislators should not be referencing other legislators, but referencing comments to the chair. I'm also disheartened seeing some of the work that is going through here. I'm glad number 21 was pulled because it was a simple thing with 3 or 4 whereases, and 3 out of 4 of them had basic errors in sentence structure and it just didn't make any sense. Likewise, this one, although the effort behind it is probably the correct effort, you can't put something forward where you're naming the wrong minority leader. I mean, it just makes us look bad, and I think we got to step up our game. And for that reason alone, it needs to go back to committee, in my opinion. Thank you very much.
All right, before Lori speaks, and I'm going to just say very briefly, I just have to say, for that very same reason, I supported going back to committee. And, you know, my faith in the utility company was very much restored last week in Montgomery, post EF1 tornado, which devastated the village of Montgomery. Thank God there was nobody injured, but there was a lot of damage. And they answered the call, Central Hudson did. And this doesn't even say which utility company we're talking about. It could be 2 or 3 utility companies. So it definitely needs to be cleaned up a lot before it's presented to the floor. But I mean, it was overwhelming, the response of the village of Montgomery. It happened the tornado happened at about 6 o'clock, give or take, on Thursday evening, and 95% of power was restored by Friday evening. So I was amazed at the response, and this response is still coming from so many municipalities in Orange County, Homeland Security, Office of Emergency Management with the county exec, the governor's office called. I didn't get a call from another state representative, but I did get a call from the governor's office that evening. So I am very much have faith in the utility company that covers the village of Montgomery and beyond. So I think this should definitely go to committee, which hasn't gone to committee yet, for much further discussion and cleaning up the resolution. So, Lori, I don't know what you can add with a couple of corrections, but I'd like to call the vote because you've already spoken twice.
Mike Paduk wanted to say something as well.
Okay. Well,
I'd just like to correct a couple of things real quick that were addressed.
Very briefly, please.
Very briefly. One, the paragraph where the wrong minority leader is listed, we need to then go back and amend the resolution from the police resolution, because I simply copied and pasted that paragraph from that resolution onto this one and the Black Lives Matter resolution. Both of those were that same paragraph, so it wasn't caught before. The other one, I was a little afraid of liability in specifying one power company, and also there are issues, I know in Newburgh and in other areas of the county, that it wasn't Orange and Rockland, which was the service provider I was dealing with for my district. There's Central Hudson. There's a few others in this area in the county that provide electric service that I understand there were issues with that too. So that is why I chose to have it broad-based, A, one for liability, and B, because there's more than one electric service provider within the county. And then the paragraph that everybody's.
That's not brief, Lori. Let's call the question on it, going back to committee. And if it doesn't go back to committee, you can continue your discussion here, or you can continue that in committee. Mike Paduk, Minority Leader.
Yeah, I agree with Lori 100%. It's timely, and I'll tell you why. Maybe Mr. Sassy has seen the same thing as I did. On the days that right after the storm, I went by the Leibolt Park Road in Crawford. There were 14 bucket utility trucks there waiting, just sitting there like they had nothing to do. So I think it's very timely to make sure that all the electric service providers know where their men are, why they're not doing it. Look, I'm grateful for all the people that were out there. I own property in Crawford. They were out for days. And that's the same time that I drove by where there's utility trucks, 12 of them, sitting at a park. So there are issues that need to be addressed. I think it's timely, and I think it should happen now before the next storm. So that's my 2 cents anyway.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Roll call on the resolution or the motion to send to committee.
Can we clarify what the vote will be, yay or nay?
The motion is.
Yes, will be. Go ahead. Yes, will
Go
be
ahead,
to send it
Go
to
ahead.
committee,
Go
to the
ahead.
Rules Committee.
Could you repeat
Am I
that,
clarifying
please?
or is being? Legislator Amler, your motion is to send it to the Rules Committee, correct?
Correct.
Yes would be to agree with Legislator Amo, Caucus Leader Amo, and a no would not. So roll call, Gene.
Yes, send it back to committee.
Benelli,
To committee, period.
Yes.
Paduk,
No.
Amo,
Yes.
Anagnestakis,
Yes.
Benton, Cheney,
Yes.
Fagione,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Kulisek,
Yes.
Luhan,
No.
Menuda,
Yes.
O'Donnell,
No.
Riskevich,
Yes.
Sassy,
No.
Sierra,
No.
DeGanga,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Patel,
No.
Tui,
Yes.
Bureau,
Yes.
Resha.
Yes.
15 ayes, 6 noes.
Okay, the desk is clear, Gene, or no?
Desk is clear, Mr. Chairman, yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, everyone have a good night. Motion, we are adjourned.
Have a good evening.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody have a safe holiday weekend.
That's
Yeah,
right.
be
It's the
safe as well.
weekend.
Yeah, it's a
Be safe.
holiday weekend.
Totally forgot.